Driverless cars are coming to Charlotte, but the company's robo-taxis are raising some safety questions elsewhere in the country. And it raises the question if they are involved with a crash, or a crime, who's ultimately responsible.
All right, joining us now, our chief legal analyst, Khalif Rhodes. Khalif, we just saw with the Texas mass shooting, the Waymo vehicle stopped in the middle there. But if you're in an accident, right, you go out and you exchange, ID and insurance. What do you do when you hit a vehicle and there's no driver?
There's no one to exchange ID with.
What do you do?
I mean, obviously, you're not exchanging information with the autonomous driverless vehicle. But I mean, it's a Waymo vehicle with the identifying information, their logo, their technology that they use. And so there'd be a number of avenues you could go. I mean, you can go strict negligence, that this is a personal injury claim, hopefully not some type of wrongful death claim. But then you also can go product liability, that this product was inherently defective in its use, in its production, and because it was inherently defective, you can bring a claim against them for a product's liability angle. So there's two different paths you can get to liability. I think the product's liability is probably going to be the easier one, that they knew or should have known that there was a risk to some injury that your product could do to you, and they failed to warn you of that inherent risk, and they failed to take action to prevent that risk from occurring. That's the easiest path. I think the other way probably would be hard because, again, it's no driver there to react to the negligence, and so any type of argument to say that it acted inappropriately would probably be more product failure as opposed to negligent error.
The state of North Carolina cleared the path for autonomous cars almost 10 years ago. But since then, when it comes to safety, data sharing, as it's mapping out, accountability, where does the state, federal agencies, how does all that play into, regulations of this?
Yeah, you would assume that there are some regulations to ensure that they are sharing that information. And a lot of that stuff is out there. National Highway Transportation Safety Administration will have a number of those things in terms of crash information. But in terms of how many are on the road and things like that, it would probably come with any type of memorandum or operating agreement they have with these individual municipalities or states. I could say North Carolina specifically is coming into the forefront of it with a lot of things happening now. So Charlotte, looking to get this to be something that's operating here. But I think the lawsuits will increase. I mean, they're being sued across the country for a number of reasons. Discrimination based on their AI algorithms, discriminating against individuals for typical negligence claims. One time the car parked, door swung open, knocked a person right off that was riding in the bike lane because a human probably would have saw them, but the car didn't. Another individual sued them because their stuff was in the trunk. The car didn't open the trunk and just drove off. And so there are a number of things that I would say the company would argue are bugs. They're trying to tweak with their program, but people are saying, look, this is a product that is failing us.
Bugs are not. We sign whenever we do something dangerous, right? This isn't quite the same thing, but you kind of release the company of all liability here. How thick do these documents have to be that Waymo is putting out there that can or cannot shield them from being sued?
Well, obviously, they're going to be thick in terms of digital because we're signing on to something and scrolling through as fast as we can to get to the bottom just so you can click accept to use their product, right? That's the goal. But I'd say it's till law school example when my professor said they'll give you this waiver to say you waive liability if you use this inherently dangerous thing. And everyone's signing because they want to use that thing. And are you actually reading the documents that you're signing? Probably not. And if you do read it, are you objecting to and declining to sign so then you don't get access? Because before you can continue to accept, you have to say that you're accepting whatever you're waiving. Does it wholly waive your ability to bring claim because you clicked on the button and said you waive your ability? Probably not. Specifically, if the product is defective in nature, you're not waiving any defects, but to the risk, that inherent risk that could have already been there and you could have saw it and didn't see it, that's a defense that they would argue that this was a foreseeable risk. It was blatant, it was obvious, and you just missed it.
Khalif, if we're talking about, the product defect there, if you are in an accident with Waymo, are you better off going a class action route and saying, because you're not going to be the only one who's going after Waymo, are you better kind of grouping together going after a company
It depends
like
on who the you is. If the you is an attorney, then obviously the class action suits better because it's a larger amount of potential plaintiffs, which could ultimately be a larger settlement or lawsuit ending. But if it's an individual, most of the time in those types of claims, if you add hundreds of thousands of people in there, your recovery is diminished. The better angle, if you can afford it, would be to bring an individual claim against a company because now your amount that you're recovering isn't diminished by by other plaintiffs. But the likelihood of you being able to do that is the David versus Goliath. These companies are backed by billion-dollar individuals or companies, and so you're not just suing them, you're suing their parent company, who in this count is a billion-dollar company.
Queen City News Plus. Just search Queen City News on your smart TV's app store.